Hello everyone, Christina Werner here. Welcome to day 5 of Color Month 2024. Today I'm using 2 stamp sets from Mama Elephant. This first one is super cute called Deliver Spring Happiness. And the second set is a greeting set called Lucky Friend. So many great greetings in that one. I'm going to be also using the brush stroke stencil from Simon Says Stamp. And my color palette today comes from the Sarah Renee Clark Color Cube Volume 1. I flipped through and found this particular palette that has lots of rainbow colors. And I was really drawn to this one in particular because I plan to use the image on the stamp set that has a unicorn sitting in buckets of paint or paint cans. And I really wanted it to kind of have that primary color vibe. So for a rainbow, I generally try to go for more of a kind of just a little of an altered color palette. But this one actually had very true rainbow colors with that red and things like that. So this was a challenge for me, not my usual preferred rainbow palette, but I thought it was really, really cute and fun. I'm going to be coloring the images with colored pencils today. This was a special request from one of my premium members here at my YouTube channel. I actually colored this card and created this card on a live stream that was for my members only. If you want to join my supporter or supporter plus members, there's a link down below. You can click on over and join for as little as $5 a month. And that comes with some special perks like exclusive live streams. So I really loved coloring this. And while I was coloring this image, I had some kind of jazzy music playing in the background. So I thought I'd share with you one of the songs that actually came up while I was creating. And I listened to the lyrics just now while I was editing the video, and it sounds like the beginning of a rom-com. It sounds like a really good premise for a good romantic movie. So I hope you enjoy, and I'll catch up with you after the coloring is complete.
There is no place I'd rather be than right here next to you. And I truly love to talk about your lovers, old and new. You never spare me details as you confide in me. I smile and give advice, but cannot tell you how I feel. How easy it would be to fall for you, but that of course is something I won't do. 'Cause we've agreed between you and me, we're nothing more than friends. How silly it would be to put this friendship to an end. How crazy that would be, yet here I am, falling in love again. Stupid I would be to still have faith, to never stop stars align, our views would coincide. We'll see the world in color, though they say that love is blind. How stupid that would be, indeed, that's true. And still I'm waiting for you. I am forever waiting for you.
After coloring the images with colored pencils and adding a few little sparkles with a white gel pen, I used the coordinating dies to cut these out. I love how close these are cut to the edges and really perfectly centered. That worked out well. Sometimes it's a little bit of a gamble when you're trying to die cut already colored images. So now I'm taking the brushstroke stencil from Simon Says Stamp, and I wanted to create a colorful kind of wall or backdrop to go behind the unicorn. So I'm taking some masking tape and I'm masking off the bottom portion of the card so that line is going to create a horizon line for my scene. And then I used more of that Post-it tape to mask off the different sections of my stencil while I work on each individual color. Now I wanted to make sure that all of the colors that I'm using are shown in the background. And remember that unicorn's going to go right over the front. So it's going to block a lot of what's behind it. So instead of having it go horizontal or vertical kind of brush strokes, I decided to do diagonal. And that's going to help me get all of those colors on that background going all the way up. And after I did a couple of colors, I realized that I couldn't just move the stencil because the ink would be on the edges of the stencil. I needed to clean it in between each color. And also, as I moved up, these brush strokes on the stencil were becoming too large for the area. So what I would do is ink blend, one side of the brush stroke and then lift up the stencil and move it, and then ink blend the other end, the other side, because I wanted the sharp edges of the stencil design on each end. And because these are such organic brush stroke shapes, this worked out really well. So I moved up in, perfect rainbow order, going up, red, orange, yellow, green, blue. And then I finished off with the purple shade. And then I just sort of had this corner up there that was kind of empty. So after I finished the blues and the purple, I then decided to bring in one more additional color, just a little bit of pink. So I brought in the color Sweets, and generally rainbows, when I do them, they always include a pink or magenta shade. And that's what was different about this color palette, is it didn't have a pink in it. And after I finished off that background, I realized I really missed having the pink. So I brought that pink in at the very end and then peeled up the masking tape. And now I have a nice background. I also brought in a little bit of shading underneath that horizon line because I wanted there to have some ground to right below the unicorn. So I brought that unicorn over just to kind of see spacing and how far I needed to bring that shadow down. So I used my black colored pencil to add shading, and then I came in with a couple lighter shades of gray just to kind of soften those edges. I put some foam squares on the back of my two images, and then I kind of hovered the unicorn over it while I kind of figured out where I wanted to have them placed, and then pressed down the first die cut. Then I was able to take the second die cut and kind of slide it underneath the right edge of the paint can and then get that position just right. So now I'm going to work on my greeting. I'm going to pull out that greeting stamp set once again. It's called Lucky Friend from Mama Elephant. And I decided to use a smaller greeting that just says, "Hi, Bestie." I thought the spacing worked out really well with my scene. And it's just a very friendly greeting. So many great sentiments on that stamp set. I just want to use them all on different cards. So I had quite a few little blips of kind of ink that moved around when I was moving that stencil before I realized I really did have to clean the stencil in between every single color. So I tried to clean that up with a gel pen. It didn't work quite as well, but since I had the gel pen out, I decided to add some more little sparkles on that background, some little dots and some little crisscross shapes. I also cleaned up this one that was on the paint can just to give it a little bit more of a shape. So that's my card for day 5 of Color Month. I hope you guys enjoyed. This one turned out so super cute. I kind of want to make additional cards just like this and maybe just change up the colors. I think that could be really, really cute. Thanks for joining me. I'll be back on Friday with day 6 of Color Month. Hope to see you there.